live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Give folks a couple of minutes to chime in. Coffee in hand, ready to go. Still running a little bit behind. Haven't got the schedule down perfect yet, but the workouts are going well. Pretty much consistently doing 10 miles every morning on the bike, 10 miles plus, 10 to 11 miles. Just working on getting that time down now. So that's the goal currently. But great Wednesday morning, Wednesday, May 30th. Yes, indeed. So great morning to everyone. Got an interesting topic this morning, as you may have seen from the title. Today's message from TG's morning stream is where's the bottom? Yours is different than mine. So been a couple of days now. A buddy of mine's struggling greatly with some issues, and he's got a dear friend of his whose son is in trouble, and has been over the years for a number of things, and it's just tearing him to pieces. You know, he's just got a whole litany of stuff that's going on in his life. And it's tearing him apart, you know, from family to marriage to kids to just all kinds of stuff, all hitting them all at once. And my buddy is just one of his best friends. And I know the gentleman, know him fairly well, but more of just an acquaintance than a dear friend or anything. Certainly care about him, love him, wish him all the best, pray for him. But just seeing what my buddy is going through while he's trying to help one of his best friends deal with all this stuff that's going on in his life, you could just see his heart is just breaking for this guy. And just boom, 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 just one thing right after another coming at him. And not little things, not light things, I mean, your transmission goes out in your car, that stinks, but you deal with it. I've got a leaky roof in the building here, it stinks, but I'll deal with it. I got a tenant that wants to move into some new space upstairs, but I was up there the other day and discovered that the air conditioner's leaking all over the carpet. It's all smelly and stinky, I'll deal with it. But, I mean, just huge life altering issues just hitting this guy all at once, just, divorce and wife stole money and just all kinds of crazy stuff and family illness and kids going awry, and it's just boom, 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 and it's like the guy is just, as I said, I'm seeing it from afar, and my buddy is just devastated by it, and it's hard to imagine. You can't imagine. I won't even insult him and by saying, I understand, because I can't possibly understand what he's going through with all this stuff hitting him all at once. But and then so my buddy looks to me and he says, what kind of advice can I give him? And I was like, you really can't. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you from the outside can do to. In particular, now we're dealing with the son. So there's nothing you can say to this individual that's going to change them. There's nothing you can that you can't point him in some direction or speak some magic words and have it all turn around. I mean, I've counseled these guys, kids like this, and I've worked with people who are struggling with drugs and alcohol over the years. I struggled with drugs and alcohol over the years, and it's just there's no words. There's nothing. I remember for me. I remember when I made my decision. It was wake up in jail. I woke up in jail, and it was like, okay, I'm either going to die or this has to stop. And that was my bottom for me. It was, and it wasn't. I mean, I'm not even talking about, I'm not talking about prison. I'm talking about jail, just drunk tank kind of jail overnight. A couple times for me, and that was it. I was like, okay, this has got to change, and thank God. I mean, that was over 30 years ago, and it stuck for me. And I've been able to turn things around, and I've had a great run. But I mean, I don't think that there's no threat ever, because there certainly is. I mean, things could turn around, and who knows? But I'm pretty confident after 30 plus years that I'm going to be able to hang on to that sobriety kind of thing. But I can't tell you where the bottom is for this. If you're struggling through something, if you're having a difficult time with something, if you're just in a really bad place, and stuff is hitting you, but just rapid fire, and it just seems like there's just no way out, and there's no words that I can give you that are gonna talk you through that, are gonna work you through that. It's just, you have to make a decision internally, where when you've had enough. When is it going to be enough? For this young man, is it going to be jail? Is it going to be another arrest, or another run-in some way, somehow? And it's not, it hasn't been anything insurmountable up to this point, but it's just all these little things that are piling up now that are going to be, going to get to the point where, he's going to show up, and the judge is just going to say, "Oh, really? You couldn't even keep this straight for this little period of time that I gave you to do that?" And it's going to be, it's going to be 5 years, 10 years in prison, not jail, prison. And it's just, as I said, I see what it's doing to my buddy, who's just trying to help hit one of his best friends through this tumultuous time in his life. And I just, for me, it's God. God has taken me through all this. I didn't really even know it at the time when I got sober, but because I didn't get saved until many years after I had gotten sober. But it's God that took me through all of that stuff. And it's I go back to the scripture that says, you do everything you can, and He'll do what you can. And that He never gives us more than we can handle. And so, I stand back and I look at what this gentleman is going through with his family, with his marriage, with his kid, with all this stuff going on all at the same time. And my thought is, wow, this is one tough hombre. Because I know this gentleman, and I've I was going to say fought with, but not really fought with. He just kicked my butt a couple times in the ring when we were training, and he's a gifted fighter and a gifted athlete, and it's been a joy to be part of his life and the little bit that I have, and it's to see what. I mean, it's a kind of a Job story, that to see what he's going through, and to really truly believe that God doesn't give us any more than we can handle, and you do what you can, and He'll do what you can't. It just says, man, this guy is one big time tough dude, and I look back, and I stand back rather, and I look at this individual, and I just think, wow, this is a real trial that he's going through, a real biblical kind of Job level trial. But it must mean that he's strong. It must mean that he's special, that he's got something in him, that only God above can see, and understands that, oh no, you'll get through it. You'll get through it, and when you do get through it, you'll be able to use this experience to help others who are going through the same thing. That's one of the things that I learned doing ministry for 10 years was my experience going through what I went through, the recovery that I went through, the lifestyle that I was in with the drugs and the alcohol and everything that I went through. And all of those experiences gave me the ability to be able to minister to those people who were struggling with it now. And people who were in the middle of addiction and the thralls of it, in the depths of it, who think to themselves, there's no way out. I can look them in the eye and I can say, yes, there is a way out, because I was where you are, and I'm here now, and you can be here now. It's not going to happen, tomorrow. It's not going to be overnight thing. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of effort, but you can make changes. You can make changes in your life, and you can get there. And it's powerful when you can. I mean, it's a lot more powerful than somebody standing on the mountaintop screaming down who's never been through it. You got to understand that. There's so much good that can come from adversity when you're in the middle of it, and you can use that adversity that you've been through down the road to be able to minister and to help and to counsel friends and family and folks that cross your path in life. So it's hard for us on the outside to watch, to look and see our friends and our family and whatnot, just struggling mightily, going through just these horrific trials. And you want to do something. You wish there were magic words. You wish there was some kind of silver bullet, some kind of potion or something, or, some kind of easy fix, but there's just not. The reality is there is just not an easy fix. And the first thing that has to happen is the person who's in the middle of it, the person who's struggling with it, has to acknowledge the fact that there's a problem, and that they have to realize, okay, this is the bottom for me, and now I need to turn around. And you talk to anybody who's done any kind of counseling for any period of time, and who's dealing with drugs or alcohol or anything, and that's one of the things they'll tell you is that they have to hit bottom, and that line is different for everybody. Nobody knows where the bottom is for you. Nobody knows where the bottom is for me except me. And for some people. For me, it only took a little bounce. I say a little bounce. It was jail again, second or third time in the tank, and now with some charges to go with it. Drunk in public and battery on police officers, plural, and possession and all kinds of crazy stuff, and that was it for me. But I don't know where it is for you. I don't know where it is for this cat that we're trying to help out now. I don't know, where it is for anybody else. But I do know that consistently throughout the ages and throughout my experience, it's always, you have to get there. You have to reach that bottom and make that decision. Now, you as an individual, we've talked about this before, you as an individual can turn your life around on a dime. You can stop right now, right where you are, and start again, and get a little bit better every day. You can do that. A big corporation, a big company, a big organization can't necessarily do that, but you as an individual, you can do that. And I encourage you to if you've got people in your life who are struggling, if you've got folks who who are dealing with issues, family issues, illness in their family, terminal illness, parents that they're dealing with, marriages that are struggling, that are in trouble, kids that are off the rails, or whatever the case may be. Just all you can do is be there for them. That's all you can do is just be there for them. Sometimes it's not, they're not looking for the answer. They're just looking for someone to be there. Someone's shoulder to lean on, shoulder to cry on, just a sounding board to just absorb what it is they need to get off their chest and whatnot. So if you know anybody like that in your life, if you're dealing with that yourself or whatnot, just reach out. Reach out to friends, reach out to family, and if you can be a listener or a helper in that regard, then great. If you're going through it, then just know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and you can do it. Everybody goes through trials. Everybody goes through struggles. It's what makes us who we are. I wouldn't be the person I am today without the struggles that I've been through up to this point. I can't be anybody but the person that I am, and the person that I am was shaped by everything that's in my past, everything that I've gone through up to this point. So, well, that's kind of it for this morning. I know it's kind of perhaps not a typical stream for this morning, but that's about it. We got a big day tomorrow. Headed down to the Blacksburg, Radford area, my old stomping grounds for college, where I went to college, and down to Radford. So heading down there to do some surveys, look at some parks, and got a couple of deals I'm working on down there. So that's all good. But I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for being here. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't on the YouTube side. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. On the Facebook side, give me all the hearts you can, and share the video and get it out there to anybody that you think might benefit from it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy watching, and I will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And remember, doesn't matter whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're right, baby. Have a great day. God bless.